your ribs at home. If you are a teenager and you want to learn how to season your ribs with natural spices, then definitely this video is for you. So guys, the first thing that I'm going to do today is I'm going to start peeling or cutting my potato that we are going to have with our ribs. So, have you ever cooked meat and it tasted bland? Let me ask you guys a question. Have you ever tried to cook a meat and it tasted so bland that it has no flavor? So now guys, I'm going to start with the potatoes. So I'll just put this a little bit down for you guys to see. So I'm going to start with this potato. So what you need is that you need to cut off a bit like this. The reason why you are doing this so that it's able for balancing. So then I'm just going in like this, and then I am going in like this. So now what I am looking for is little spoon, because we are going to stir fry this. And like this. So I'm looking for like a diced potato like this. So guys, when you are cutting a potato, what is the biggest fear that comes crossing your mind when you are slicing like a potato with a knife? What fear comes to your mind when you are doing that? So I remember for me, when I first started slicing potato, I know my first fear was that, oh, the knife is so big, I might end up cutting myself. I might can end up cutting myself. So you are like, no, I'm not gonna try risking my finger to cut a potato. So guys, let me know what fear you have when you are cutting a potato, or when you are in the kitchen. What is your biggest fear when you come across cutting something? So now I have to go in with this, slice that just for the balancing purposes. And then like this. So what fear comes to your brain when you are in the kitchen slicing a potato or cutting something? What fear that you usually get, and what discouraged you not to be in the kitchen? For me, my fear was slicing something in the kitchen. I was so scared that I might end up slicing my finger or cutting off one of my finger. That was my biggest fear I was having. So guys, let me know what was your biggest fear, or what is your biggest fear you have when you are in the kitchen slicing a potato. So let me know in the comment. I have a question. What is the biggest fear you have when you are in the kitchen slicing a potato or slicing anything. Myself, the biggest fear I had was to cut off my fingers. That was my, please close the door. That was my biggest fear. So I was extremely so scared that while I'm slicing something, I might just chop off one of my finger. So those are the fears I used to have. So that discouraged me to be too much in the kitchen. So if you guys are out there, let me know what is the fear you have when you're around the kitchen. So for you guys who are just joining now, today I am seasoning some ribs. So I'm just busy slicing out the potatoes we are going to have with our ribs before we move to the next stage of seasoning our ribs. So while we are busy cutting the potatoes, I have some very interesting questions for you guys. What is the fear that you have when you are in the kitchen? What makes you scared when you have to cook a meal for yourself or for your mom? For me, it was cutting off my finger while I'm slicing something. I was just scared to hold a knife. And my fear was I was so scared, I did not know how to balance my knife. So those are the fears I was experiencing when I was a teenager. So those are the things that discouraged me to be in the kitchen. So now for you guys, I want to know, what is your fear when you are cutting something? What discouraged you not to try it? So let me know in the comment what fear you have when you are cooking something, or what is the most thing that discourage you not to be in the kitchen and trying to cook. So for you guys who just joined the live now, I'm just busy slicing our potatoes. So after this, we're gonna season our ribs, and then I'll show you guys how to season very flavorful ribs using your natural spices or any spice you have. So let me know, guys, what is the fear you have that is preventing you to go out in the kitchen there and start slicing something or start cooking? For me, the fear was, oh, if I just chop something, I might end up chopping my hand off or my finger off, or when I'm talking, I don't want to speak and chop something because I might end up chopping off my hand. So growing up, I was also having those fears, guys. It's not just you. So if you are out there, what is your fear? What is stopping you from going into the kitchen? And then what is your biggest fear when you are cooking ribs? What is preventing you not to cook ribs at home? What fears do you have? Like, let's say they left you alone and you need to cut like a potato, or you want to make yourself some potatoes, but you have that fear that is stopping you from doing that. So what is really that fear that is stopping you from doing that? I want to know, guys. Let me know in the comments what fear you guys are having, or what do you experience when you are trying to make a meal. So for you guys who are just joining, I am just busy cutting our potato before we can move to the next stage, which is to season our ribs. Okay, so now we are done with cutting our potatoes. So now we're just going to season this and then we will move it out of the way. Now to season my potatoes, I am using, hi again, what are we cooking today? Hi Emily. Today I am teaching you guys on how to cook your ribs. Today we are cooking very delicious ribs. So I already cut off my potatoes. We are going to have our ribs with these small diced potatoes like this. So I've already sliced them out. So I'll show you guys on how to slice them. So Emily, I wanted to ask what fear you have that makes you to be scared to enter into the kitchen. So now for my seasoning, I am going to use some country onion spice. That's what I'm using here, but you can use any seasoning that you have just to give the potatoes a very good that we are going to make. This is the ribs we are going to make today. So we are going to have these delicious, flavorful ribs with our potatoes here that I just did some ties. So I'm going to show you guys how you can season your ribs. So have you ever seasoned any ribs that came out not flavorful? So let me know in the comments. So now I'm just seasoning the potatoes for now, and I'll put this at the back once this is done, and then we'll go into seasoning our ribs over here. So let me know what makes you scared to go out there in the kitchen. What fear you have that is preventing you to go into the kitchen and start cooking. I don't know the best seasoning for ribs. Oh, no problem. Today I am going to show you the best and easy way to season your ribs that works for me. So you can actually season. So I just blended this, but this does not want to cut off, so I'll blend it another time on its own. So I'll put this aside. So I'll show you a way to season your ribs that is very easy, and it just makes your ribs come out so flavorful. You can season your ribs like this, and they just surprise your friends when you have some friends over that you're inviting, like a group of teens, and then you just season them those ribs like that. It just comes flavorful and very delicious. Okay, so this is my country onion spice, but no problem if you don't have this country onion, you can sap it up for onion powder. It will also work. So I'll just go in with this like this, and then I'll go in with 2 tablespoons of paprika. This is to give your potatoes a very good color, and it also just deepens the flavor on it. Let me just put everything in. And then guys, what you also want to do is put some salt to your potatoes like this. Then for moisture, for your seasoning to stick, just go in with a little bit of olive oil or vegetable oil you have. So the reason why I am putting oil to my potatoes and to my seasoning so that the seasoning can catch to your potato. So this technique works either for chicken or either for meat. So then I just come and mix it. If you're not good flipping it the way I'm just flipping as well, just use your hands, make sure they are washed, and just massage or wear some gloves if you need to, or just go in with your bare hands and mix that up if you're not good with the flipping way, like the way I am doing. So you see how they came out very flavorful and they just look appetite. So you can do these light meals for your friend. So Emmy, I wanted to know, are you comfortable doing your potatoes like this? Have you ever tried doing it like this? So you see the paprika and the country onion, it just changed the way your potato looks. So these are easy meals. You can also have this as a snack. It's extremely delicious. So now I'm going to put this aside, and then I am going to show you now how. Oh, you tried this. Nice. That's really nice. You should. So are you comfortable with your knife skills in the kitchen? That is really nice if you've tried doing your potatoes like this, because it's really good and it also cooks fast. So how is your knife skills in the kitchen? Like, are you comfortable being in the kitchen around the pots? So I'm just putting this aside, guys, and washing up my hands, and then we can start with the rib seasoning. Okay, so now we are moving to the part where we are all here. So now I just want to dry out my hands. They are a bit wet. Okay, so now for my seasoning for my ribs, I am going to use my Eden fruit spice over here. This just deepens the flavor and it gives it that natural sweetness that you're looking for. If you don't have this Eden fruit over here, you can use any steak spice you have at home. It will also do its magic. And then over here I have paprika, then here I have my mustard, and then here I have my brown sugar. So this is all we need for our ribs, and it's going to deepen the flavor. Let me see what Emily said. Okay, I guess you're pretty comfortable in the kitchen, just need a new ideas on how to season meat better. Yay! So seasoning meat, what you need to do is, let me show you a technique today. Emily, I'll take my bowl. Then so specifically when you are seasoning meat or ribs, what you want to do is you need to get yourself a bowl, then put all your seasoning that you're using for, especially some like paprika, and then you will need a bit of mustard. I'll use 2 of it. Then I am going to do some brown sugar for my ribs. Then I'm going in with my Eden fruit. If you don't have Eden fruit, what you can use in the Eden fruit place, let me show you. You can also use like, you can use also steak spice, which I use. It's also good. If you don't have the Eden fruit spice, it also just takes your food to a very different level. Or because it's not really passive, you can always play around. Just regular mustard. Yes, this is just regular mustard that I've just added over here. So I'm just gonna blend my Eden fruit. So not Eden mustard, just regular mustard. For this one, I'm not using Eden mustard. So now, for me, because I am using the Eden fruit spice, this is how it looks. You can also just use like the steak spice if you don't have this Eden fruit. That is optional. If you don't have that one, you can use the steak spice or the chicken spice. You just mix it up very well together. So the point with seasoning is that you need to be able to play with different type of seasoning. Just mix them up. Don't also overwhelm, because too many seasoning at the same time will destroy the taste of your meat. So then you see, if I don't put in oil, this is how dry it's going to be. So for moisture, what you need to do is add in a little bit of oil. It can be either olive or vegetable oil, and then we just mix it up like this. If you also don't want to mix it up like this, you can just put it in like directly without making it like into a paste. But I love making it into a paste so that just everything can just come in together like this. See how I did it? I'll add in more oil so that it's moisture. Yeah, like this basically. Then I just go in and taste everything that I blended together. Tastes good. So now you're gonna take this. I'll put it like this. I hope you guys can see. Nice. I don't think Nice did not think about oil. Yes, you need to, especially when you're seasoning chicken or meat, you need to add in a little bit of oil so that it just gives it that moisture and all your seasoning come together. Then you can add it up to the meat, or you can add the seasoning inside the meat and then you just sprinkle a little bit of oil, then you just moisture it like very good. I'm glad I was helpful. And then, so have you ever burnt food before? So this is our rib. So what you want is to go in. I'll put it like this. So I like putting it directly on this, on the full paper, so that whatever seasoning I have does not go to waste. It will go inside. So now this is our seasoning over here. So what I'll do is I just go in and massage this. Okay, I did a mistake that I need to be honest with you. Is that I forgot to add in my salt before I was supposed to put on my seasoning. So don't make that same mistake. So what I wanted to do is I like adding my salt directly. So what you need to do is add in your salt first, then we go in with our seasoning. Because the reason why we add salt to the food, because it just deepens the flavor. So if we don't add in salt, the food is going to come tasteless. So it's very important to add in salt. So I just did that mistake. Don't make the same mistake like me. Always remember to put in salt in your food, please. So now I'm going to flip this back. Just gonna put in my salt like this. Okay. So now we will go in with our paste that we just mixed. You see, when you just mix the seasoning like this, it just gives it like a very different look, I would say, and the paste just tastes also amazing. Or if you don't have time to do it in a paste, then you just apply it directly. But I advise you do it like into a paste. Then I just go in with it like this. So now I am just gonna flip it the other side. So I have a question. Has any of you out there ever burnt some food? What was the question? I was asking if any of you have ever burnt food, like burn. Did you ever burn some food that you were cooking? So now I'm making sure all my seasoning is in good use. So now I am just gonna flip this back. You see why I use this? So that this whole seasoning don't go to waste. I'm just gonna flip this back. So the brown sugar is because if you want to give it that sweetness on your ribs, because everybody loves a sweet rib, like me. Definitely I love a sweet rib. So if you don't like a sweet rib, you can leave the option of adding sugar, the brown sugar, up to it. If you don't want that sweetness in your ribs, then you can skip that. But who doesn't like sweet ribs? Are you out there? No. Oh, so you also burn some food. I remember my first time when I burned some food. Until now, not like that. Until now, I still burn food, especially when you are distracted with something you are doing on your phone and then you have a pot over there and then the food just goes to burn. But sometimes I also just serve it like that. What did you burn? What food did you burn before? So, I'm still hot, but this isn't the that I have to move like this. Put this aside. So now we are going to cover our ribs. So I'll cover it like this so that when it's cooking, it's easier to open it up. So now we are going to put a timer. This will go in for about 15 minutes and then we're gonna open it. If we need more, we're gonna do more. But usually it takes 15 to 20 minutes. So now on your grill, so on our grill here, I'm going to put it like on grill over here on my stove, and then here I want to put it like on 350. So when you're baking your ribs, make sure you put it on 350 and on grill, but not bake. So now I'm going to put this inside. So this is how I sealed it. Hope you guys can see. This is how I sealed it. So I'm just going to put it nicely inside. Oh, there's something inside here. Pancakes and chicken. Like how I baked chicken, I did not know. So your chicken came out like so black. Oh, I can imagine. But did you just serve it like that, or what happened? When you bake your chicken, you just served it out like that? Myself, I baked some cookies at home, and then I thought I put the heat of baking was low, but then it was too high, so my cookies burnt at the bottom. I think I did also a video about that, and then the video is like down there below because my cookies came out so burnt. But then I didn't want to hide it, so I really had to show that the cookies were burnt. Even the bread I baked, it was also the bread. The bread also burnt at the bottom. The burning part, you always find it in the kitchen. It's just to pay more attention or put a timer when you are cooking, because those burnings, they'll cost you a lot. So I just want to plug this so that we can start cooking our potatoes. So now the reason, let's see, I am horrible baker. I burn my cookies all the time. Oh wow, really? No, what you need to do is try putting a timer. A timer is going to help you. That is also my generally mistake. So just try to put a timer. And then always, if you don't like putting a timer, it's better you always go like on low heat. Otherwise, no, you are going to burn every time stuff. I remember also when I was working like in the restaurant, the chef asked me to cook bacon, and you know the bacon is so sensitive, guys. So if you miss like the timer, you just end up burning the bacon. So what I did is that I put in the bacon, but then I forgot to put the timer. So I extremely forgot. The bacon stayed like 30 minutes there. And remember, bacon only has to cook like 13 minutes. It stayed there inside like almost like 30 minutes. Guys, we just had something is smelling. My colleague went like, something is smelling. It's like bacon is smelling. I said, what? Bacon? I started checking, it's like the bacon turned black. The bacon turned black. It was a full tray full of bacon. Welcome to the world of burning in the kitchen. But I was so scared to tell my chef. But then I had to tell him because it was so... It was just a messed up, guys. What's the part of the messed up you do in the restaurant? That was just a big flop, I think. I was like, what? Bacon. That's how I burn my bacon, guys. But then I quickly had to fold it and then put it in the garbage so that the chef doesn't know, because it was just a simple mistake, a simple flip out, guys. So guys, for seasoning here, I put paprika, some country onion, and a bit of salt. So the paprika is for color, and the country onion is to deepen the flavor of the potato, and the salt is for taste. You see how beautiful this color looks? This is the wonder what a paprika does. So now I am just going to wait for the pan to heat up. So while our pan is heating up, guys, if you have any questions so far we have already seasoned our ribs. For you guys who are just joining, what I use for my rib is that I use some Aidan fruit, which you can sap with steak seasoning, and then I use regular mustard, then I use brown sugar, then I went in with a bit of oil, and then also paprika, yes. With a bit of oil, we moisture it, and then salt, and then I just put it inside. I almost forgot to put in my salt. So guys, don't make the same mistake. But I think I added salt here, so don't make the same mistake. So now, what I want here, let's see. When seasoning your ribs, guys, you do not want to serve ribs that are tasteless. It's good you make sure that your ribs are very well seasoned and all the seasoning went inside, because if you serve a meat that is not well seasoned, nobody will want to eat that. So guys, just season your ribs really well, and these are things you can cook, invite some friends over. Yes, and also another way is that to test your cooking skills, always cook for your group of friends that you are comfortable with. And then once you have mastered those your cooking skills, then you can invite now the friends you want to impress, so that you give yourself a bit of confidence, and then you serve them the meal you have done. Those are extremely good activities you can do with your friends. So first practice at home. Practice, master how you season your chicken or your meat. Once you have mastered it and you serve it to your brothers, sisters, or whoever you are staying with, then you can start inviting your friends, or you do it for your classroom. Those are things that are really nice in there. Like this is very good to do when you're inviting some friends over. You can also have this with chicken if you don't have ribs. And it is just a filling meal. So I'll just add a bit of oil to my pan, like that. So now the aim for this is that you do not want to add a lot at once, because I have a big pan, so for me it's good. But if you have a smaller pan, I would advise you just to go gradually, don't rush it. And And these potatoes are also so yummy with some side of spicy mayo, guys. So Amy, let me know, how do you do your potatoes? Do you do it the same way that I'm doing, or how do you make yours? So we have to let this cook. So while it's cooking, I am going to add in some garlic confit. If you don't have the garlic confit, you can as well add in fresh garlic. But I just love using the garlic confit. And I'm just gonna mix it up. And also, if you're not a garlic lover, you can skip the garlic confit part. But I just love garlic in my food. So if you're just joining, we season our ribs and they're just at the back in the oven cooking. Yeah, and also if you don't want to cook your ribs in the oven, you can as well use an air fryer. But I prefer cooking my ribs like a whole into the oven, because the air fryer means I will need to slice them up. So if you don't want to cook them in the oven, you can as well use an air fryer. So have you ever cooked ribs out there? Have you ever tried cooking ribs before? And how did it come out tasting? What seasoning did you use for your ribs? Who does not love garlic? Why? What is their reason? Why don't they love garlic? I love garlic, but someone does not like it, so you can skip the garlic. Who is that who doesn't love garlic? Ah, sorry to hear that. I just love garlic, guys. Like now I can just smell all my seasoning and I can smell the garlic. Salt and pepper, it's always come out dry. Ah, like the salt and pepper? You mean like in the potatoes? So if you just salt and pepper, just try to add in a little bit of oil for the moisture. Then it won't come out too dry at all. If you just add in a little bit of salt, you can add salt and pepper and just a bit of oil, then it won't come out too dry. Then it will give you that moisture. I think you can try that. But I also love using the salt and pepper for my fish. yes, you should. Thank you though. You should. And then let me know also how it came out tasting once you have tried it. Thank you. I'll be happy to be of help. I'll be really happy. So now I'm just moving this like apart, making sure. Also, the other way I cook this, because potatoes sometimes also take long, what you can do is also, another technique also I can show you is, while your potato is like this, what you can do is just to give it that little moisture in the inside, you can always add in a little bit of water. Just a little bit, not too much. You see? Then the steam will be able also to steam like inside, in case your potato is taking like, so that it just makes it softer in the inside. Just adding a little bit of water so that your pan does not burn. Now I'm just gonna stir a bit on our ribs. If everything is on here, okay. Everything is on, everything is cooking here. So it's still on over there. So you see, so the water prevents the oil from burning, and it just gives it that moisture inside, and it also helps the seasoning also just to enter inside, but not too much water, just a little bit to make the potato to steam. So at what age did you learn how to cook or get comfortable in the kitchen? For me, myself personally, I started cooking at the age of, I think, 13, if I remember correctly well. And my first meal that I started cooking was making oatmeal at home for breakfast. That was my first ever meal that I did on cooking. So after that, I got a little bit of some burns, some hot water falling on me. A lot of things can happen in the kitchen. So not just to scare you guys, but I'm just being real over here. So just be more careful and just try light stuff at the beginning. Don't go overwhelming yourself at the first, because you can also end up just cutting your fingers. So be careful with the knife skill. So when you are starting, go slowly with things that makes you comfortable. Try out easy things, practice different seasoning, mix it up a little bit together. But when you're first starting, I'll advise you to start with first choose seasoning, and then once you taste it has worked out, then you can always add and add. So don't try with too many seasoning, otherwise you screw up everything. So now that it's almost done, I love going in also with butter, but this is optional. when you are mixing your potatoes, you feel them that they're a little bit hard. I am interesting. Oh wow, interesting, really? Oh no! Wow! So you only started being in the kitchen comfortable like now. Wow, that's amazing. And only went ahead. So basically she changed you. Interesting. Wow. I am happy that I came with a big change. Because oh wow, now she's like you are doing your fresh meals at home, in your own space, trying out new things. Oh wow. No, then it's not a problem. It's never late to learn how to cook. Especially for also this new generation. It's never late to learn how to cook. So I'm so happy that you started learning how to cook for your daughter. That is such an amazing step. Wow, congratulations on that. I'm super happy. Wow, it's really amazing. For myself now, I am 33. I started cooking when I was 16. No, when I was 13. And then I started working in the restaurants when I was 16, like after high school. Wow, that is really amazing. I am super happy for you. But keep pushing, because if cooking, you can also do some activities with your daughter, like in the kitchen. You don't have to be perfect. You can do activities. It will also make you guys bond. These are also some technique I use with my stepdaughter. We started doing some activities together in the kitchen, and then we just started bonding. It's extremely amazing. Especially with seasoning, you can always play around. So don't limit yourself. So let's see if our potatoes are ready, guys. Our first round. So if you're not used to hot stuff, don't go in like me. My hands are already dead from heat because of too much cooking. It's ready. And it is delicious. Salt, pepper. And then candela is showing sharp, high. So some are ready, some are not. So I'll wait a little bit more, because the one I took was ready, but these other ones are not ready yet. So I'll wait in a little bit more. But you can see how they are coming in together. So I'll wait a little bit. Yes, and if you also don't want to do it like the long way I'm doing like this, what you can also do is just seasoning them like this and put them like into the air fryer for like about 20 minutes, and they'll just come out crispy and tender. But just stir them, like continue stirring them while they're also in the air fryer. This also works perfectly well in the air fryer. So it's almost there. So I'm just gonna move them out. So if you don't have time to do this and wait for this like this, just put them inside the air fryer. They'll come out very perfectly well. So for me, it's because I wanted to show you, but if you have like things to do, like you want to go and take your shower, but you don't have time to wait for them like this, just season them, dump them in the air fryer, and you just can find them very crispy. But don't put the heat too high. You can put it like on 180 on the air fryer. and it's also good. So it's because I wanted to show you guys, so that's why I am using it this way. But you can also just use, especially cooking the whole way, guys, it's not easy. So I'll just put it. So this is how it's looking. So now I'm going to check up on our ribs so that we can like flip them a bit. So this is our ribs. So just to show you guys, so I am just gonna hold this because it's cooking on the table, but do not try it like this, please. So just put it on the table and then you can flip it, because this is what I'm doing here. It's so risky, you can get burned. So put it down on the table. It's because my table has that, so that's how I'm going in like this. Not from down. And then the other mistake here is that my oven is cooking from up, not from down. So I need to put it back. This. So it means you're looking at the wrong side. Maybe I'll watch it. So let's see. Why is it cooking? I'll check it now. So it just looks so crispy outside. So I'll just finish this last one and check here. Yes. Now our heat is at the bottom, so I made a mistake. The heat was up. So now I just fixed it and I put the heat down. Right there. Okay, so our first bunch is done. So now I am going in with our last one. So because I don't like to waste my seasoning, with the little water I told you that we can use, I just went in on the bowl and I added in a little bit of water like this. So I'll just go in, put on my water, then we can stay inside. But just a bit of water, not too much. Because we just want this to steam and cook. Sorry dear, I'm adding in some garlic. I know you said you don't want some garlic inside, but I'm adding in some garlic. I just love garlic. Please forgive me. So now I'm going to let this cook. So that's good. So let me know guys, what type of mistakes have you come across when you are cooking, and what type of fears did you come across when you are in the kitchen, or what is the thing you have not tried out yet being in the kitchen? So I asked like 3 questions guys. Okay, let me recap. Question 1 is, what is the most fear you have when you are in the kitchen? So I'll count until 6, then if there's no response like in that message, then I will answer it based on the fears I have come across or the people I know they've come across. So I'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, one of the fears I was having, since nobody answered, I'll answer for you guys. One of the fear I was having when I first started in the kitchen, when I was 13, was the fear of getting burned. That was my honest fear. Like when you are frying something and then just the flame that just come out of there used to make me so scared that I didn't want to get any close to cooking anything. But as soon as I acknowledged my fear, so whenever I was cooking, I'll be starting like to go a little bit far to protect myself first, and then I started to getting comfortable by just trying to fry. So instead of when I'm frying going in like chip, then I run, I'll rather just go a bit closer, and then I just put it while I'm also trying to distance myself a bit. So those things helped me. You just put this on. Just now. It is the heat from the grill. I didn't put in the fan, so I had to put in the fan so that the steam doesn't come into my eyes too much. you guys are just joining, I've already seasoned the ribs, and the ribs are inside. So for the seasoning for the ribs, I did Eden fruit spice, and then I did mustard, brown sugar, and then I did paprika with some salt, and then I just put it inside. So we're waiting for the ribs to cook, and now we're just busy with the potato that we're going to have as a side for our ribs. So if you're just joining and you have any questions, let me know as well. Going with a little bit of butter. So now I'm just busy flipping my rib to the other side. Oh, it's extremely hot. So just like that. Okay, that noise is because of the elevator over there, the smoke inside. So don't worry guys, it's because of the smoke of the ribs that is too much in the house. So we have to open the door. Can you use the paper there, can't? What is that? Leave it open a bit. Hey, come on. So we just had the smoke was too much, so the alarm just went on. So we try to switch it off by opening the door and just hitting a little bit with the air like this on top. So now everything is okay. So now I am just cooking this. For you guys who are just joining, so I am doing ribs. So for the ribs, I season them using my natural spices, which is the Eden fruit, just to give it that deep flavor inside my ribs. And then I also use some brown sugar and some mustard and some paprika, and then I'm doing some salt on my ribs. And I almost forgot to put in salt, guys. So then I just season it nice, and then it's been in the oven. So we are waiting for it to cook, and then I just flip. Now on the other side, now we are just waiting. Now for my ribs, I'm going to have it with potatoes over here that I'm busy grilling. If you don't want to grill them the way I'm grilling here, you can as well just use your air fryer and just put them in. Will come out also perfectly fine. So this is still hot, it means it's not ready. So welcome guys. For you guys who are just joining today, we are seasoning some ribs. So the ribs are cooking at the back. So what I did is that I went in with my natural seasoning, which is the Eden fruit, to deepen the flavor, and then I went in with some paprika, and then I just seasoned that and added it a little bit of oil, and then we just spiced that. Now it's at the back cooking, and then I just flipped it out after 15 minutes to go the other side. What is that? What is that? What is what? Sis. When do you know? Yes, sir. Ow! I almost burned myself. So now guys, I'll just move this out of the way and get our ribs so that we can see how far our ribs is, and then we'll put it back again. So I'll just put it here so that we can see how this does not fall off. Then I'm just gonna flip this. I'm gonna use a spoon to help me flip this because it's extremely hot. Like this. Okay. Yep. This. Then gonna open it like yummy. Yummy all this yummy but sauce. Okay. So now I am just opening it up so that it can grill from the bottom. And grill from the bottom. Just go in and feeling my ribs to see if it's cooked though. Yummy, 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 yummy. So now, put this back. I think I'll close it more because it's a little bit hard and wait a bit. Look at it. So I'll put this back while we wait for our ribs. Okay, this is our potatoes we are going to have with our ribs. So I just seasoned them with paprika, with some salt, and with some country onion spice. Some try this once it's ready. It's hot. It's delicious. Tastes good. Let's let it cook a little bit more. So I'll just keep this warm while we are waiting for the animal. So this looks good. Now just check on my ribs. Oh. So now I'm turning it to bake so that it can bake on top because we are cooking from down. So now we're gonna let that cook. So now our potatoes are done. So just wait a few minutes for our ribs. And then we're just gonna dig in and enjoy our meal. It's not done yet, we are still waiting.
Only one. Thank you.
So if you guys are just joining now, today we are doing ribs that I season with my natural spices using the hidden fruit with my paprika, and then I just put in a little bit of oil and then I season that. So now it's just grilling. It's almost done halfway, and now I am going to have it with some potato and I'm going to plate it and just give it a very good presentation. So my potato are so good. You can have this also with rice if you want. But for me today, I am going to have it with side of potatoes, and it is just extremely delicious. I just love how this is looking, and this is just easy, and you can also do this like in your air fryer if you want. So this is ready. So now we're just waiting for our ribs. So on the ribs, what I did, guys, is that first I started it on the grill, and then once it's cooked, like really cooked, then I went to put it on the bake, so that on the bake it goes like crispy outside, and then we want the tenderness like inside our rib. So that's what basically I'm looking for. So now I've done this like for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, I flip it, 15 minutes, I flip it. So now it's still busy cooking. So we are almost done. Then we're just gonna serve it up with our little diced potato. It's extremely filling and it is just so delicious. So let me just have a look how it's going. So now the juice, what I'm doing is that this is our ribs here if you just joined. So I just want to put the juice like on top of the ribs. Let's see. Yummy? So I'll put this out of the way. So I'll move this out of the way. So this is our ribs like this. So I'm gonna put it like this. So I just want to make sure my knife is sharp. So now this is our ribs, guys. It looks yummy. So I just want to go in. I love keeping the juice. Whoop. So now I'll just put it here out on the plate. Gonna move this out of the way. It burned my tree. Like this. So you guys can see. Now I just want to slice one. Do I even have like a sharp knife or something? So I'll just hold it. It's always better to hold ribs anyway. Yummy! Ooh, this is hot, guys. So it's because I'm showing you guys, so that's why I'm slicing it. But usually you'll want to leave it a bit to rest. So this is how delicious the ribs looks like. It is just extremely delicious and it's so tender inside, guys. Ah, but it's just hot. Super hot. But it is so delicious. Yummy. Yummy, guys. And then we're also having it with our potatoes over here. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Now you know how to season your delicious ribs at home and have it full of flavors. Alright, see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Now we are seasoning our ribs. And if you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Have yourself a great night. Bye, guys. This is our ribs over here, and we are done. Bye, guys.